Welcome to the New Orleans Internet Work System. We're back live programming. We'll be momentarily starting our scheduled program, which you're looking at the title if you're not familiar with it. I do want to make a basic apology for not doing much live programming last week, but we took a trip out of town. We did do a Facebook Live of the Mobile Mardi Gras for you all to contrast to the live presentations we do of the New Orleans. But again, that was only for the Facebook devotees, not the both the YouTube. So we apologize. But we're back full fledged, ready to give you of some substantial programming this week. We've got some great things lined up, and if we have a little time after the show, we'll talk about it. If not, as you know, we'll post it on social media, all these shows for this week. All right, enough about that. As we mentioned, we are pleased to bring chefs from around the world. We have several shows. If they're in New Orleans, we call it a little different name. It's called Review because we that's our original very first program where we were limited to just New Orleans chefs, restaurants in that location because we were on a cable channel. When we moved to the first internet station before we got our own, we were able to expand that. So because we now have the world as our oyster, as they say, we have chefs coming from other parts of New Orleans, excuse me, other parts of the United States, hence the title Chef's Chat USA. You see the United States map is wearing that cute little chef hat. Or if we were dealing with an out of country chef, then the chef's hat will be on the world globe, which we've got a couple of them. Haven't got a lot lined up internationally yet. We had it on the other station, but we've got a couple we're contemplating. So we'll be looking forward to that as well. But we also got a pretty good queue of Chef's Chat from the United States. So I know those are going to be informative to you because it might be in your own territory. You might be thinking about going there, whatever. The key here is that we're real pleased to bring it to you. Now, what we're going to do momentarily, as we mentioned, we will be going to let me take a look at my ugly bug for a little bit, okay? As you see, we just go right in front of that background, which you don't see it as well. You got to see my ugly bug, but that's the way it goes. So momentarily, we're going to be bringing up our chef and find out all about him and his wonderful service. And then the most important part, to take a look at those great dishes that he's creating. He is from, I'll give you a little sneak peek, Dallas, Texas area. So there you go. Over to the west of Louisiana. They're moving right out of the state. So what we're going to do is, why don't we go ahead and start now? And we want to introduce you to our chef, Chef Kevin Johnson, and then there he is. And the name of his great catering firm is Taste by Chef Kevin. Got a little bit of a dark. We wish he had a little bit of lighting in his studio, but anyway, I know you can still see him. So welcome to the show, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself today?
Great. Like I say, we're so pleased that we can bring you to the audience. You're not that new chef on the block. That's what I like to see. I like to see someone with a little bit of a history with him. And why don't you tell us a little bit? Are you a native of Dallas, first of all? Whereabouts?
No, actually, I am a native of Asheville, North Carolina.
Wow, that's a beautiful place.
I'm a mountain man.
Mountain. I like it. Well, whereabouts did you move yourself to and your family to Dallas?
We moved down here in about 2006.
Oh, so you've been there quite a while.
Yeah. So I think I'm officially a Texan at this.
Yeah, you have the lay of the land, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, please. I'm so old. Don't call me sir. Anyway,
that's the military training.
No, they always have an excuse to cover up. They just don't want to bring you on the same level by calling you by first name. Anyway, and I'm going to call you either Chef or Chef Kevin if you don't mind.
That's just fine with me.
Excellent. All right, now tell us a little bit about your firm and your catering firm, so that way, and give us in the end of that give us the complete details if someone wants to contact you in that area or wherever else you'll go to actually private party, or what tell us what services you offer and how your organization.
Okay, so first of all, Taste by Chef Kevin is a full service catering company.
There you go.
Offer personal chef service and pretty much any kind of service for any kind of events, large scale, small, personal chef, private services. We do a little bit of everything. We don't limit ourselves to just larger events.
That's
I like doing small ones because it allows me to be a little more creative and
and a little more interactive with the group.
absolutely. And I love being more interactive.
Well, that's the key. Absolutely. In fact, when I first started and I'm going to bore you with history. And when I first started the first program, the Restaurant Review on cable TV in New Orleans back in the decade, change of the 2000, in those days in New Orleans, the chefs weren't even known. They kept in the closet called the kitchen. You didn't know who was preparing your food, what he or she looked like. Yeah. And I had this vision that one day people are going to want to see who's doing this stuff. And even more so, the chefs are going to want to see who he's feeding. And nowadays, we have so many chefs who own their own restaurants, and they certainly want to be out there mingling in the public so people know who they are. Anyway, that's enough about that. But I'm glad I'm a little fortuitous mind brought it to fruition. And I kept saying, what better way than to have it, not to be use a bad noun, but from the horse's mouth, and have the chef tell you how he did it. I mean, we have a lot. I'll probably do in Dallas too in the morning shows. We'll have a vignette where they bring it on for usually a charity cause. We'll do a 2-minute dish, okay? And but we're not here to create recipes for the audience. We don't want them to go home and try and emulate your stuff and not do a half good job. We want them to come and taste your food or bring you to their house and taste. That is the key of this thing, is to look at the prepared dish, not how you make a menu or a recipe or how it looks together. We want to see the precise and then dish and when it's finished, and you to tell us about it. What else can you tell us about the anything else about the catering or yourself before we actually start looking at some of your pictures?
Well, I've been in the business for, I guess, going on 28 years now.
Wow, you're only 34. That's great.
Yeah, I'm a youngster.
Yes, you started young with your grandmother. Yes.
I actually started working in fast food restaurants like most other chefs and most other fried chicken at a restaurant called Hardee's, when Hardee's fried chicken.
Great training. I mean, that's the good thing about that, is get the training and then move on. That's
it's not a career thing.
Exactly.
And then from there, I was I enlisted in the U.S. Navy, where I was a cook on board the USS John F. Kennedy, preparing upwards of 25,000 meals a day.
Wow.
Yeah. Kitchens are open 23 hours a day, so. So huge operation, well-oiled machine. I spent 4 years doing that, and then after that, it was on to the restaurant business, full-service restaurants. I've worked in high-end, low-end,
middle-end.
Yeah, hole in the wall, you name it, I've done it.
Well, the good thing about being in a restaurant per se than your military background, that gave you the ability to knock them out, but you really didn't have the opportunity to be the creative genius that you want to be. Now, you had structure, stuff like that, which you did a good job of it, of course, but you really couldn't put that Kevin Johnson touch on it with regard to whether it's visual or taste or both, So,
yes.
All right. Now, let's see if there's anything else. All right. How can they? I don't think we asked. How can they get in touch with you? Yes.
You can reach me at Instagram at Taste by Chef Kevin on Instagram.
Okay.
Chef Kevin on Facebook. And my telephone number is 469-601-1400. And my website is www.tastebychefkevin.com.
Oh, okay. Well, so you got them covered. You got them covered.
Yeah, I got all media, social media platforms that you can think of.
Now,
Snapchat, I don't use it yet. I'm still working on that one.
now you're able to do. I know you have another position, but you're able to do these services not only on weekend when you're free, but also sometimes during the week in the evening or something. Or no? What's your flexibility there?
Definitely in the evenings. Usually after about 3 o'clock, I'm available to do usually the smaller events because I do have a Monday through Friday corporate job as
There you
executive
go.
as
There
well.
you go. Can't be that. Can't be that. Well, all you young ladies that do your ladies' parties or bachelorette parties, here's the one to call. But remember, the food is only on the table. Food is only on the table. You'll have to negotiate other services some other way. I, that's for your wife. I want to make sure. Yeah. She,
She's not
anyway,
watching.
all right.
She would know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, Chef. Again, folks, I forgot to say up front, remember, you can watch us simultaneously on Facebook, on the general timeline, or under my name, and or under our YouTube channel, R space REVUE. If you're going to go that route, please go ahead and subscribe. We always need the numbers, and that way you get better notice of when we're doing a show, whether it's this show or the any of the 14 ones that we have. There's got to be some more that might tweak your interest. So rather than have to constantly go in and search, that'll bring you right to the channel. And then all you got to do is find out which show you want to see live or one of the archive shows. Okay. Sorry, I had to get a little plug in. All right. Why don't we do this? Let me go ahead and bear with me because I'm not great. My assistant's not here today. So hopefully I don't mess this up. But let me go ahead and bring on our show of our first dish. Okay. 1 second, please. All right. All right. There we go, Cal. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Why don't we tell us what this great concoction look? Is that noodles? I can't figure out. I have bad eyes, so you'll have to pardon if I call something wrong. But it's a great looking dish, but it looked like noodles. Is that noodles or what? Or cheese or what?
Those are actually spaghetti noodles.
Perfect. Go ahead.
It was my plate on a shrimp scampi as an appetizer.
Sure.
White wine, lemon caper butter sauce. Uh, I This is one of those days where I'd already had item on my menu and I turned it into a cute little appetizer, 1 or 2 bite appetizer.
Sure.
For people to kind of like a tasting.
Yeah, tasting plan. Yeah, you don't want to give too much because then they won't eat your entree or eat anything else. But that is great as opposed to, a lot of these appetizers are so unfilling that it's the other extreme, So here you got, I think, a nice blend of that. Now, may I ask how you prepared the shrimp?
It was just a pan-seared shrimp,
Perfect.
simply seasoned with just salt and pepper.
Excellent.
Himalayan pink sea salt and fresh cracked black pepper.
Okay. And what kind of greens we got on there?
That's just some chopped parsley.
Parsley.
It just, just for aesthetics and make it look pretty.
Oh yeah. Well, it certainly does. It certainly does. Now, if someone wanted this at one of your events as their main catering, as their main plate, you could also expand it, of course, right?
Absolutely. I can do this as a
more pasta and a few more shrimp. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I think that would be ideal to me. Filler, have something light on the front end, even though it's great either way. But you have to do the other thing. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can bear with me again. See if we can get this baby rolling here. All right, let's see what we're gonna do here. All righty. All right. Oh, is this dessert? No, is this dessert? What the heck is that?
This is one of my favorites.
I can see why.
This is
visually it's magnificent. Go ahead.
One of my favorite dishes. And it was actually at the time probably the most popular dish that I made. which was a center cut bone-in pork chop.
Pork chop, yeah.
Rosemary cherry Cabernet sauce.
Wow. Wow.
Rosemary orange scented mashed sweet potato.
Oh my! Oh, folks, I forgot to tell you we're talking to Chef sweet potato.
Yes,
he is a promo. He should really get be a toaster chef for the sweet potato industry. I'm telling you, because he can come up with more ideas for sweet potatoes. I mean, we know the old way, and some of them doing fries, but he can come up just like this. I mean, he really is just excellent with this idea to take it and run with it throughout. And it curses all through a lot of his dishes, which you'll see. But the coloring with that gorgeous cherry color, just magnificent. Anything else you want to tell us about it? But it really is a beautiful dish.
I can tell you that it tasted very good. That's probably the important part of this dish, is that it tasted great. I normally don't eat because that's what most chefs do. We prepare the food. We never eat our own cooking because we have somebody else prepare it for us. So
there you go.
Good. I got a chance to eat that day.
Well, I don't know how you'd pass that one up. I mean, it really is. All right, let me move on to another one. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, doggy, here's another. Now this is gonna wet your palate. Here you go, folks. What are we looking at here? Boy, look at all.
So this was a arugula salad with
okay. Go ahead.
Roasted potatoes. Pearl onions, roasted pearl onions, sliced beets. If you can see, the beets are laid across the bottom. It's
yes.
Yeah.
Which I love beets. Go ahead.
Yeah, mine asparagus, a balsamic reduction, and
all right.
8-day aged New York strip with gorgonzola.
Ooh, say boy. Now this is an entree salad, folks. This is not a dinner salad. It's a dinner, but it is your whole meal because that's got everything, your meat and your vegetables. The whole works going. Really good.
It's gonna fill you up. This is one of those salads where you don't sit down and this is the main course. This is the star of the show.
Excellent. Folks, I want to tell you, if you're coming in late, if you come on, that we're talking and hearing and seeing the creative works of Chef Kevin Johnson of Taste by Chef Kevin of Dallas, Texas, who's at your service, whether it be at your home or a venue, whatever size you want, he can do it. He's done it for thousands of soldiers, so he can do it for your largest party, folks. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on one to another because we want to make sure we try and get through all of these for the folks. All righty, here we go again. Now this is so creative looking. I said, I don't know what he was trying to achieve in the vertical look of this, but somebody that I don't know want to throw out to suggest. I'd rather hear it from you. Tell us this is really an intriguing dish. It really is.
This is another fan favorite. This is Thai shrimp and quinoa salad appetizer.
Oh, good.
That I did actually for a dinner party.
Okay.
For a couple of the guys that I do work with. They had a some kind of anniversary party of something. We did that in their home.
Good.
It's drizzled with a homemade herb oil.
Oh,
cilantro herb oil. And the shrimp are marinated with like lemongrass.
Very Thai, yeah.
Very Thai flavor.
And I love the quinoa. I'm glad you're introducing some. I mean, right by now, quinoa is I would say old, but it's certainly been around the globe. It's its introduction with regard to the health concept of it. But what I love is the taste of it. I just think the consistency is just fantastic. And whether it's a salad or whether it's a dish, so I think it's very versatile. So I'm glad to see you use it. So
I love quinoa.
Good. And I think the colors are great. I mean, the colors are just great on here. So, all right, well, let's move on. We're getting the hang of these things here. Let's see if we can move on to another one. Ooh, bet you like green. Here's Popeye's dish. Come on, come on at it.
So,
What we got here? Huh?
so this dish is a Peruvian chicken and cilantro soup.
Oh, oh my God.
Actually, this dish was so phenomenal that it surprised me. This was my first time making this dish, and there's a few additions in there that was not in a recipe that I found. So I kind of made it my own by adding the diced cucumbers in there for some freshness, the avocados for a different texture,
Sure.
and some
Sure.
green onions on top. It's actually a large portion of the broth is made from green peas as well.
Green peas. I was gonna say there's
Yes,
got to be split peas in there. Got to be
split
split.
peas,
Yeah.
green pea. I love it. This and actually, green peas is not really a favorite of mine, but in this dish, it was
I,
absolutely
I
wonderful in this dish.
I could certainly see that. I can't taste it, but I taste it in my mind because it is great. Peruvian food is really one of my all-time favorite ethnic dishes, and it's not available here. New Orleans, before we had a big hurricane, hear about that way back, and we had maybe about 4 or 5 at the most. We have 2 right now. One of them is excellent. The other one is, I think, closing because it just people are just not familiar with, it, and they don't not
Yeah,
know the wonderful things. We went to San Francisco once. We went to a little restaurant which turned out to be very big because it was hidden the way it was. We had outside. This is how creative, and they have a lot of seafood, of course, in Peru. So they do all kinds of dishes. They took a fish. I think it was flounder or pompano. I think it was flounder. They made 7 dishes, 7 courses, soup, salad. I mean, I can't even remember all the way through dessert with the prime fish. It
oh
was
my gosh.
it was phenomenal. So I'm a big diehard fan of Peruvian food. I just wish we had more of it here locally because and look at the vivid colors. I mean, they're just unbelievable. Their presentation visually as well as tastefully is just to me superb. So I'm not. So I think you ought to do some more Peruvian food.
Yeah. I love anything South American. I love it.
Yes, I agree. I agree. You're totally right there. We don't want to just tell you about Peruvian food all day. So let's go ahead because we do need to move along, not too quickly, but let's see what we can do here. See if I can bring up another one. This is interesting. Really interesting. This looks like almost like a wrap the way it's done. What we got here?
So what we have here is Mexican rice and black beans on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
a cumin spice rubbed pork tenderloin.
And the pork. I figured it was pork. So I saw how white the meat is. So that looks great. And what else?
We have a chili verde sauce on top of it, and then some fresh sliced avocados right on top.
On top. Boy. Well, like I said, you get everything but the tortilla shell, huh?
Yeah,
And,
that's it.
and I don't think you need it. I don't even eat the tortilla shells or the whatever the soft tortillas. I just eat the contents. I'm a plate kind of person, not a wrap. And I know it's very popular for everybody to grab and go. But I mean, first of all, food should never be grabbed and gone. Food should be sat down.
You need to sit down and enjoy it.
Exactly. I mean, that's the part of life we really have lost today, and our children have lost it because they sit, they don't even see the food. They shovel it in their mouth while they're looking at their phone. On the other hand, really
Yeah.
pitiful, really pitiful.
Everybody's so in a rush nowadays.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad we're not. Anyway, all right. Let's take let's take a look at another. Let's see what we got going. Oh, I saw this one. Oh, this. So here we're talking about. A lot of people you've heard, I'm sure, food is art, and it is. These plates, as you're seeing today, as well as and many of the fine restaurants, the chefs and the platers are so in tune with making it visually stunning. But this is really a sculpted piece of deliciousness. And I saw him do this for a party, and it's maybe a little smaller piece, or maybe it's the same piece but close up. But why don't you tell about this? Is so unique, and I think just so demonstrative of what real art can be on a plate or on your dish.
So what this is, I was just playing in the kitchen. I did do this on a smaller scale. This is a chocolate mousse cake, a raspberry filled chocolate mousse cake with a mirror glaze on top. I was just going back and exploring my pastry skills that I don't get to use very often,
Right.
just to show myself that I can still get in the kitchen and play around
Mhm.
with sweet stuff too. Although sweet stuff was my first love, I uh, I make most of my money doing all the savory stuff.
Yeah, you really, I mean, I know you have to be versatile because of you, but at the same time, there is a fine line distinction between a chef and a pastry chef, you know,
Absolutely.
because the measurements that are so required, so specifically required for baking, as opposed to, I mean, I remember my French mother used to always say, well, I'd ask, well, how much are you putting in it? Don't ask me that. I put what I have to put in there. And it comes out wonderful. But I don't think you could do the same thing baking it. But this is really, and so many of the chefs are relieved that they don't have to do desserts nowadays. If the restaurant is very, very successful, they can afford to get a specialist, a pastry chef. But when I first saw this, it reminded, I said, it did be just a little bit, but this could be a beautiful map of the world. I mean, it really could. If I know it's hard for you to be able to regulate the way you pour the liquids on it, but I mean, if there was a way you could get a mold, whether it's the U.S. or the globe, it is really spectacular. It really is.
Yeah, the smaller version of this did have a globe on it, as it was.
Ah, well, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, you had it situated on top. I kind of remember that.
yes,
What was that made? I'm sure, huh? What was that?
the globe was actually a edible paper, a fondant
Oh,
paper.
okay, fondant. All right, good,
Yeah,
good.
that I actually cut out into those little discs and put it in the oven to dry it out so it'll hold its shape.
Well, you folks, you see, you don't have to worry about like if you're catering. Well, is he going to do a good job? Is it going to be just cookies, for dessert or something like that? Since I can't afford to have two chefs, here's one way you can see by the quality and the look of this. We can't taste it, but the sounding of the ingredients know that it's spot on, 100%. So this would make anybody's meal complete. Or it would be great for a ladies' tea or a social, a coffee social, because just fantastic. I mean, you'll get rave reviews once that plate is brought out. All right. We're doing great. I think we're doing great anyway. Let's see if we, folks, again, you can, something I didn't tell you, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, you can put any comments you want in your live chat in the chat section. And if there's a question for Chef Kevin, he certainly is going to try to do his best to answer it. Or if it's for me, don't ask me too many questions because we're really focusing on the food. But don't hesitate to put it in. We'll try. In fact, we'll even bring them up on the screen so the audience can see the question rather than us just relay it. So don't forget, if you have a chance, to go ahead and use that opportunity to say anything you want via texting, which is much more important today than calling. All right. Let's go ahead and see if I can get to another dish here. Uh, 1 second. All right. All right. Now this one is it's not strange, but I said uh, after coming after that beauty, I said this is a little bit of a cluttered look, and I don't mean it in a nasty way, but it just looked like assembly was going on, maybe kind of not a rush, but a different time. Tell us, I don't want to destroy your dish, so tell us what it is. I'm sure the taste is going to overcompensate for any misgivings I have in the look of it. Go ahead.
Okay, so this right here is a chicken scallopini over angel hair pasta, also with the lemon butter sauce,
Right.
Kalamata olives, capers, bacon, and mushroom.
Oh, you see that?
So it has all of my favorite food groups in there:
Yeah.
mushroom,
Yeah.
and chicken, and pasta. I love olives and capers. So
Yes.
one of those
Oh,
dishes for me that some win-win all the time.
well, besides the basic meatballs and spaghetti, carbonara is my favorite
Oh
pasta.
yeah, That's
I can eat it for breakfast. It's so good with the bacon, and again with the capers, both the capers and the olives. That saltiness that brings it to it. So, but you brought it to another level by putting the chicken in, and I wouldn't even need that. And the mushrooms, of course, are wonderful taste and also a great look on the dish. So, like I say, you have to accept my apologies for the look, but as I surmise, the taste has got to be superb here. So there you go, folks. Scallopini, which you don't think of much anymore. Even a lot of the Italian dishes, restaurants still have it, but sometimes they overdo it with the sauce. It's too
yeah,
much,
they
like
put
almost
too
like
much sauce on it.
yeah, yes, exactly, and sometimes even almost like an Alfredo sauce. Some of them don't even know. That should be heavy cream instead of this is a much lighter sauce. So
Much lighter.
yes, yes. All right, let's take a look at another. Let me get another one up there for the folks. Ooh.
Okay. So
This is my view of a stew. This is I probably not. He's probably gonna be insulted, but I just love it. Go ahead.
you are absolutely right.
Really? Okay.
You are absolutely right. This is a French stew. It is. I'm going to try to pronounce it right.
All right, I'll help you because I'm very
Pot
fluid.
of fruit. Okay, it's translated into pot of fire.
Pot of fire. That's right. Fu is the fire and pot.
Yes.
Yes, it's exact, and it definitely looks so French. I mean, I knew it had to be a stew, but I didn't want to call it a stew because it sounds so
Yes.
degrading. And French food is supposed to be so elevating, even though the cassoulets and the basic peasant French food is just as good as the upscale dishes. So
Always.
did you go over what other ingredients are in there? Because this is great. This will be great.
Okay, so in this I have some roasted potatoes.
Okay.
Actually, all the vegetables were roasted before I put them in there.
All right, good idea.
Potatoes, I roasted the pearl onions in the skin before, and then I peeled them.
Cool.
Carrots, the asparagus, and then the beef, and then I put the sauce on top. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of my most favorite dishes that I've made here recently.
It's got to be one of the best comfort foods you can get. Now,
Oh my
I didn't hear any wine, but I don't think it needs it.
Oh.
Did you put any wine in
Yes,
this?
there was definitely wine in it. I put white wine in it. Definitely.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the final touch to really elevate it. But it's beautiful, and like I say, very few people I think would say, "Oh, look at that stew," like I did. But I crave stews. Gravies and stews are just some of my favorites. So this was really top notch for me. It really was. This would be we're coming out of winter hopefully here, but I could eat this all winter. Almost every day. It would be so good. So good. All right, let's see what we got. Again, folks, you're listening, watching, and enjoying the great creative dishes by Chef Kevin Johnson of Dallas, Texas, representing his firm Taste by Chef Kevin, which you can reserve and try his food at your own event, private or public. And before we close off, I'll ask him to repeat that information. So how do we get in touch with him? He's all over the place. So you can't be saying, "Oh, I can't find the listing." If you can't find the listing with the number of platforms he's on, besides the old cellular, then your eyes are probably worse than mine, which is unbelievable. Okay, let's go on and see what else we got here. Here we go. Here we go. This is cool. This is cool. Go ahead. I mean, this to me looks like French toast and like a grilled cheese with powdered sugar, almost like a beignet. This has got visually, and it's got its little tower. Come on, tell me about this one.
It's got a little bit of everything in this one.
A little bit of everything.
Made with a brioche bread. This is what I call a Monte Cristo, a French toast Monte Cristo.
Good stuff. Okay.
French
Hopefully,
toast Monte Cristo.
Hopefully, most people know those. Very popular French sandwich that around the world. It's not just here in your turf or my area. It's very famous. So, give us a little bit more information on it.
Okay, so of course, it's the traditional Monte Cristo with ham and Swiss cheese.
Right.
But my add-ons, it's in the shot glass there.
Mm-hmm.
On top, there's a maple cream. And mixed in that is maple butter and a caramelized onion and bacon jam with candy.
Wow, that's a great combination. Maple with bacon. is a great combination. It really is.
Maple with bacon. And then there was also a syrup on it. You probably can't see it on the plate, but there's a bourbon maple syrup that was also served with this dish. So you could go either way. You could take the bourbon maple syrup, or you could take the shot glass and get a little taste of the maple butter and caramelized bacon and onion, jam, and then the maple cream.
You are knocking their socks off with this one. So, all right, let's move on to another one. Because these are good thing I had a little light. I had a cup of soup. That's what I had for lunch, and I'm going crazy here. I'm going crazy here. All right, this I hate to say, but not hate to say, this really resembles something you'd see in one of the New Orleans dishes. It really has a Creole kind of look to it. So, why don't you tell us about this? It's a really pretty dish. It definitely looks like a French dish from New Orleans.
You are absolutely correct.
All right, I'm 3 for 3 on this one.
Through and through on this one. Maybe with the exception of the mashed potatoes. We have a blackened salmon there.
There you go.
With like Creole shrimp on top and a Creole sauce with crab meat. Sauteed garlic green beans over there. And then, of course, the roasted garlic mashed potatoes.
Wow. You got everything going on there. So once
again, enough to make your tongue slap the roof of your mouth.
Glad you didn't say hit your mama, because I hate when you but that's the truth. But this one really transfixes me, because I could see this easily done, maybe not as well, but easily plated in a New Orleans restaurant, which I think is, hopefully you'll accept that as an honor, a tribute. It's not really a derogatory at all, because I really think there's a certain look to a lot of New Orleans dishes, and this one certainly has it. So hopefully, and it definitely sounds like it's got the taste. Okay, let's move on again. I sort of kept track of where we are and our numbers. Now this, folks, I mean, I don't know what to say about this one. Is this part of the smoothie generation? What we got here?
This is a very interesting dish. This is another one of my a brainchild of mine that I was just trying to get super creative and come up for something for a event that I was doing. And this is my take on shrimp and grits.
Wow.
That is a coconut shrimp, and then that's a Thai flavored grits. So it has, in the broth, it has all the lemongrass and kefir lime and all the components of a Thai dish, except in grits, and then coconut shrimp on top.
So let me ask a little bit about because it really looks very liquid, and I don't think it would be, because it would be difficult to eat unless you just slurp it down. But so it must have, because of the grits, it must develop some kind of bulk or consistency. Is that right? That can be eaten?
Yes. Yeah. The grits actually, once they were in the glass, and there's a spoon in it, stiffened up. So you would take your coconut shrimp, of course, bite that, and then you can fill up
on the rest. Yeah, my eyes, I don't see that. Whether my eyes can see it or not, I'm not focusing on a spoon, so that's why I'm looking at. But vibrancy of color. I mean, this has got to really, again, be a dynamite to impress your attendees or diners, whatever that you are celebrating with or honoring, because and Thai is really the new Chinese. Chinese is just so heavy. So they have a lot of because of the Thai situation, Thailand is between India and China. So it has the best of both worlds. And also it can kind of perfect it in that Chinese food is delicious, but you got heavy duty food. The sauces are heavy, and so yeah, I'm not knocking it, but Thai is like a lighter version when they do their Chinese dishes, and that's what's good about it. You don't feel like you're just killing yourself eating, with all the weight. So anyway, go ahead. I know I'm talking.
Yeah, Thai. I was going to say Thai is probably one of my favorite cuisines.
Yeah, I
love preparing and eating as well.
Yeah, I'm so glad it. Again, years ago, 20 years ago, we had maybe 1 or 2 Thai restaurants, But because it's so recognizable, when you take someone or ask someone to go there and they'll see so many dishes that sound and look exactly, or maybe a little different look, but call the same name as a Chinese dish, they feel a lot more comfortable in trying it as opposed to, oh my God, an ethnic, so afraid of eating any kind of ethnic food. So it's an easy transition to outside of just American palate and also beyond the Chinese palate. So I think that's why it's gained such great popularity, and then people just know it because their use of coconut, their use of all these flavors that are just
Absolutely.
phenomenal, phenomenal. Okay, let's move on because I'm enjoying this journey. Now this, just talking about New Orleans, this looks like almost like a
Oh yeah.
breakfast dish. This looks like a breakfast plate, folks.
Oh,
Oh boy, right.
definitely a New Orleans dish right here.
I
Definitely.
love it. Go ahead, tell us about it.
So
If they can't
this,
see it.
as you can see right there in the front, is andouille sausage.
Mm.
On top, we have a Cajun fried chicken along
Wow.
with the Cajun butter fried shrimp. And then we have a creamy mac and cheese on the bottom.
Gee, wait, so you got, oh, wow.
This is a heart attack on the plate.
Don't tell them that because
This is a
I'd worry
heart
about
attack
that.
on the plate.
But you're right. I mean, that is Carbo Central. I mean, that is gorgeous. I mean, like I say, there couldn't be a better to me. That's one of the prettiest and most fulfilling brunch items. If you want to serve a brunch, I think this would be ideal because it covers all the bases. They don't
Oh,
like
no.
they don't like the sausage. They got the chicken or the shrimp, so they got everything. Of course, who doesn't like mac and cheese? I mean, that's one of the universal foods right there. So we're right on top of it with that one. So anything else? Well, go ahead.
I would eat myself to sleep on this. This
Well, I
dish,
think
everything about it makes me hungry right now, and I have
me too. My soup says, you didn't eat, did you? Anyway, but this would put anybody to sleep. It really would. but it would be a really good sleep. A really good.
Yeah, you'll take a great nap.
Exactly. All right, let's see what else. Ooh, doggy. Here we
All
go.
right.
Yeah, what we got here? Is this dessert?
This is a
tomatoes. What we got?
to the Greek islands.
All right, that's what I thought. That was
Yes.
not popcorn.
This is Mediterranean for you. So what we have on this dish, this is a center cut pork chop with some blistered tomatoes, roasted garlic, a creamy feta cheese, and then on the bottom we have a herb rice pilaf on the bottom.
Right. Oh, wow.
One of my favorite, and I believe it has a balsamic on it as well. I can't remember, but I believe it has some balsamic reduction on it as well. This is probably I love Mediterranean food. It's always my go-to whenever I'm looking for something to eat. Is Greek food, anything Mediterranean, I'll eat it. With the exception of lamb chops. I'm sorry, people, I do not like.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I like it. I'll eat anything, but lamb chops is just not on the list. I'll cook it though.
I understand. Oh, I know you will. But well, first of all, because most people know today that the Mediterranean diet is the one that they push. I mean, this is for health reasons. It's light. It's got just the basic ingredients and filling, substantial flavors. Good thing about Mediterranean restaurants is they borrow a little bit from me. So that even though you're in a Greek restaurant, you're going to see some pasta dishes. Some of it will be similar to Italy, but different. And that's what's so cool about it. They're taking some of the same main ingredients that other countries nearby use, and they're doing it a little different. And that's what gives it the variety. So it truly is a remarkable variety. And I don't know how anybody can say, oh, I don't want to eat that food. I mean, because there's so much variety. That's what I love about it, is that we have a new Greek restaurant opened up nearby, and it's been for years out in its other 40 years in its other neighboring, we call them parishes, not county. They finally came uptown just about a month ago. we go there once a week. And I get a different thing every week. That's what's so nice. The menu is so full. It's like the old days. Nowadays, the menu is usually 2 pages of food and 12 to 15 pages of cocktails. You know,
Oh, I know.
everything is led by the liquor. Even though that's changing with our millennials, they're saving their bucks. They don't want to pay $15 for a glass of wine or something like that. So we're moving away from alcohol, which I like because I gave it up a long time ago. Not that the people want to know that, but anyway. So I'm glad to see you guys because some people are really, I don't say fanatical, but certainly moving in this direction. So we give those people who are really interested in it, knowing that you can produce this particular cuisine as well as more the American stuff or some of the other French and Italian stuff that we've seen. So that's really, really nice. Really nice. Okay, now we're coming up and we're a little ahead of schedule. We're coming up, I think this is the last dish that we're going to be showing. We're going to talk a little bit and then, of course, let you go and then I'll aggravate the people for the rest of the time. I love this because your use of salt. Now, this, again, back to, I know it's not Peruvian, but again, this is the kind of stuff Peruvians and French do with regard to the layering of the colors in their sauces or their accessories. And this had this great sunburst in this beautiful lime halo. I mean, I don't care anything in there as long as it didn't blend in the color would be magnificent. But then they had to change it to the other browns and the reds, just a visual delight. So go ahead and tell us, Chef, what we got here, please.
Okay, so right on this one we have now this has some Indian flavors in it. So we're gonna say this is a curry seared scallop.
Okay.
It's a very large prawn.
Right.
Also underneath has apple quinoa salad underneath.
Oh, cool.
With a butternut squash puree, and that is around a green halo, as you called it. It's a herb oil, again, another homemade herb oil, and some fennel fronds.
Wow.
So this is just me, again, getting creative and playing with my food in the kitchen and coming up with some new ideas and new recipes to present to the people. However, you know, sometimes the price range on these things is a little more than what some of the clientele want to pay.
Right. Oh, of course. That all has budget is unfortunately the controlling factor in all of this situation. Because had you all, any chef had free reign, every one of their dishes would be just knocked the sides up. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, that purse or that wallet is the controlling factor here. But I just, like I say, this is, you got several just visual extravaganzas as far as I'm saying going on in the pictures we've seen. But this one brings it all home with that tremendous curry, and they have that like I said, that lime, or even though it's not lime colored oil, and then scallops. We had the dressed scallops, and that has got to be one of the most common seafoods nowadays. I mean, here in New Orleans, of course, shrimp and oysters and soft shell crabs, so those are basic. But fortunately, scallops has made, I would say maybe 30 years ago, maybe not that long, really made an entree into that. You know, originally in France, they really wanted, with like everything else, they pioneered it. But it spread like wildfire because people, they're not afraid of it. It doesn't intimidate them to look. And once they put that first bite into it, the wonderful consistency that you bite into it and shooting out those fabulous flavors, it's a great treat. So I'm glad you included scallop. I wouldn't have thought that to ask you to do that, but I think it is a very commonly sought of alternative to the traditional seafood. So, and then you've got the other things complementing it. So it really is a nice dish.
It is perhaps one of my favorite seafood dishes that I've prepared, as I prepare many, because I've worked in several restaurants, seafood based, and seafood tends to be my favorite food to prepare.
And I was going to ask you, and this is my naivete. I've been to Dallas once or twice, but not any, not really to say I know Dallas. Mm-hmm. I do know that I like Dallas better than Houston because it's smaller the way I see it. It's more concentrated, like New Orleans is. New Orleans is compact. We call it an urban town. a small town with urban amenities. Compared to Houston, that Houston and Atlanta are all just spread out all over the place. You don't know where you are, but Dallas has that concentric core, I think, that really makes it to me very, very palatable. But my question was, and I see you serving the seafood. Where do you all? I mean, I didn't know you all had that much access to the waters to get the seafood. Is it all imported from other places or what?
Yeah, it's all imported from other places.
Yeah,
Not,
yeah.
uh,
Well, that's one of the few things we have over you in regard to food, is that because of our proximity to the Gulf and all, to get
yes.
just magnificent food. That's why we, just put it on. And some of the best, I think, in the nation comes out of our kitchens because of having that proximity, and that's
Right
the only thing.
on.
Yeah. I'll tell this story, and I know it doesn't pertain to you, but the years ago when I went, the first time I went, it might have been the second time I went to Dallas. I love sushi. I mean, I've started eating sushi. I was taught by a master back in the 80s in California. And he taught me to eat things that, even fugu, which is the poisonous blowfish. So, I mean, I really know my stuff. In today's marketplace, I go to a sushi restaurant. 90% of the restaurants, I know more about the food than the chef is preparing. That's
Right.
how well I know. I remember I went to Houston, tried the sushi. I could not even eat it. It was all ambiance. And we have a lot of those, but it's a beautiful ambiance. It's very, but again, mainly geared toward the cocktails to get you so drunk you don't know what you're eating anyway. But in Dallas, I don't know how I found it. It was a little Japanese. I mean, he had to be in his late 70s or maybe even later, and it was way off the beaten track. And it was his house, a very small little house that he had converted his porch, and it had 3 seats, sushi bar. That's it. And I had some of the best sushi in my life from this poor old Japanese gentleman. I'm sure he's passed on by now, and I kept saying, wow, how did this happen? I mean, I know the chef has the talent, but obviously he knows where to get the stuff, whether it's all he was importing everything from Japan, I don't know. But the food, and never have been able to emulate it in any other city other than in New Orleans when I go to the chefs that I really know that are Japanese in nature, as opposed to nowadays we have more Vietnamese, more Koreans doing sushi than any. We don't have a large Japanese complex here of residential units, but I mean, they do great jobs. But the ordinary, citizen, they just want a lot of mayonnaise and
yeah. Well, that's
fried tempura.
Their idea of good fish is catfish and tilapia and salmon. They haven't been exposed to all the different
exactly. And if you fry it with enough batter, it's going to taste good.
Yeah.
It'd be good food. Yeah. So,
yeah. When I came to Texas, and I was like, oh, have you ever had and all these different black cod and all these different types of fish? They're like, oh no, we've never even seen it. Put it on the table. They're like, oh my gosh, this fish is great.
Yes,
definitely tastes better than catfish and tilapia. I'm like, yes, it's a lot more out there that I can't even begin to touch.
Exactly. I mean, that's
the variety. There's tons of fish out there I've never even seen.
Right.
That every day is something new. When I see something, I'm like, oh man, I want to try it. But unfortunately, I'm allergic to fish. I didn't gain.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, I'm allergic to fish. It happened when I was 28, 29, 30, somewhere in there, where I couldn't eat fish anymore. But every now and then I'll get a wild hair and I'm like, I'm trying it. I got to taste it. And it's probably over chicken and steak any day. But unfortunately, I cannot eat it.
All I can say, you're a poor deer. You really are.
Every now and then I'll just take a Benadryl and go for it. I'll take my chance.
Preventive measures, yes.
Yes.
I couldn't live without seafood. I prefer seafood to meat any day. I mean, I enjoy different levels of meat, but of the two, if I had enough variety of fish, I'd eat it every day. It's just phenomenal. There's so many ways you can prepare it in so many different consistencies. So, but I'm glad you don't hold back from your guest. And as
Oh
we
no,
see today, that you prepared a variety of seafood dishes. So folks, don't get scared of him
don't be
because
scared.
don't be scared. Trust Chef Kevin. All right, let's go back. We got about 10 minutes, but like I said, we can let you go get back to you. Even though is today your day off or not?
Oh
With
no,
you,
I've been working. I'm getting ready to go get ready for I have
you got
one,
any bad?
three, I have 4 events this week.
4. Wow.
4.
Well, glad,
Yes.
glad they're keeping you
One
busy.
tomorrow, two on Wednesday, and one on Friday.
Excellent. Well, boy,
So it's gonna be a busy
congratulations.
week.
Yes, that sounds like it. All right, but let's review. We're talking about Chef Kevin Johnson of Dallas, Texas, and he has a wonderful catering firm. I'm going to go ahead and let you. It's called Taste by Chef Kevin,
Let me lean
and
forward. Taste by Chef Kevin.
then he's all over the place. Now let's go one by one and a little slower because this is the most important part to eat. If they've seen that food, that's hopefully them to go ahead and give you a call when you get some free time. So let's take it one by one. Let's go with, where do you want to go first with? What platform?
My website.
All right, I would think that's a good choice. Let's hear it.
Website
We know it's
first.
the 3 W's. Yeah.
3
Three
W.
W's. And what?
It's tastebychefkevin.com.
Can't beat that.
The
See,
name
folks?
is in there. Can't forget it.
Can't forget. Taste by Chef Kevin. All right, that's your website.
Yep.
What's next?
The next one is my Instagram because people are definitely visual.
That's right.
Taste by Chef Kevin on Instagram.
Okay, there you go. Same thing basically, except for the forwards. All right, and Instagram, as you said, is the visual platform.
It's
So
the
you
visual platform.
spot on being there.
And next up is Facebook. Also, Taste by Chef Kevin on Facebook. So all platforms will be Taste by Chef Kevin. You can find me anywhere, even on LinkedIn.
Oh, good. Yeah, because it's weird. LinkedIn started, and I haven't used it in a long time. LinkedIn, years ago, was really kind of for the professional resume. Everybody wanted which it still is, but it's broad, just like to be competitive. It's broad, just like everything else. So I'm now going back and doing my videos and posting all that, which I never have even touched on LinkedIn. So
LinkedIn is also it's a great tool for networking.
It is.
And getting out there to the professional crowd they can see the corporate clients that
that's right. They represent. They see something like this, they're gonna call up their HR guy, or they'll say, look, next time we have an event here, we got the guy here. If he's close enough, let's go ahead and do it. So I think that. Now, what about you? I think you also gave out your phone number. You don't mind doing that? Go ahead.
Telephone number is 469-601-1400.
Easy enough. Well, it's not easy enough, but it is. Most of it's easy. But again, most people don't like to call anymore. Only us old fogies use it. Everything is text. So
everything is text.
Everything is text. Everything is text. Anything else you want to say before I let you go? And then I'll just, like I said, bore the people for the rest of the time. What else? Anything else you want to tell us about?
It was just, I'd like to say it was an honor and a pleasure to be on here with you. And, I look forward to doing another episode one day.
But don't forget to send those checks. I've been. Okay. Well, tell your lovely wife that was nice of her to loan you to us, especially hopefully she didn't take any offense by my callous jokes. But anyway, I think it adds to the community. All right. Well, again, folks, one last time, Chef Kevin Johnson telling us adios, I guess. I don't know what language they use over there, but adios or goodbye. And he's certainly a man of all cuisines. That's what I like to say. It's not focused on one particular one. And so that's great to know that no matter what you like, you're going to be able to find it with this gentleman for your event. Okay, Kev. Thank you again. It was so sweet of you to come on. Let's plan on the future. I got to give some other people a chance, but let's keep us in touch. Anything else you do, or if you have a whole new line of menus or something like that, then we'll try and do our best to reschedule, because I enjoyed it. It was a pleasure. It really was.
All righty.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, there we go, folks. Wow, that was a real taste journey today, didn't you think? I thought so. I wish we'd have had a few more dishes so we could fill. Well, we only got 6 minutes left, so you just have to hang in there, or you can just hang up. I understand that that's freedom of America. Just get it right off if you don't want to hear anymore. But as I mentioned at the beginning or the onset of the show, as you know, we are a fledgling network just started in February. Predominantly, I am the creator and involved in most of the programs that we putting on the air. And as I said, right now we created two new ones, and I think that brings us up to 15. Now, it's not just quantity, hopefully it's quality. As you know, that what we want to do is entertain you and different varieties that we can do. So we've come the original. Let me give you a quick review. The original show, Restaurant Review, which was focalized in New Orleans, and we're still doing that. New Orleans chefs and their restaurants, we come right to you through Restaurant Review. However, if it's outside the city of New Orleans, but in the United States, it's Chef's Chat USA that we saw today. If it goes beyond our country to any of the other countries, it'll be Chef's Chat Worldwide. We have a great show for artists, whether it's sculpting, a painting, called Artist Review, spelled with an R, not an A. We have one for filmmakers, and it includes actors and also TV people. That's called Reel, REEL Review. We have ahead now some of the newer ones. We have some things out of the because that's our production company, our review, which you see the little ant up there. That's our brand up there in the upper right corner. But we have some that don't fit the category of the our review productions. One is Know Your Nonprofit. So we'll bring to you nonprofits from anywhere around the world. And if you have one and like to appear on the show, contact me through the sources I'll tell you at the end if you're not familiar with. So we'd love to bring, I've got a couple local ones coming on relatively soon. In addition to Know Your Nonprofit, a very popular one, Talk to the Tarot. We have a lovely psychic medium, Robin Denon, out of California, who comes on Wednesdays. In fact, we're going to review what this week is. So she'll be there Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And she can read your tarot cards and let you, she would contact someone who's passed and you want to interested in speaking, relative, friend, loved one, or both, depending on the time. You just need to, we take reservations, 15-minute reservations during the show. But if we don't have enough to fill in, we let people text in and they get a chance to get their tarot reviewed or to speak to someone from the past. Some of the new ones coming out. One is Roots Review, where we're going to be doing not only gardening but also flower decoration. Beautiful floral decorators are coming on to bring us, show us some of their work. One that we just created today. It's going to be it's kind of meeting those things, even though it's just kind of dated. Hopefully, we can make it fun and not horrible. But not a matching service, but in a situation where you can come on and profile yourself live, and then we'll ask anybody to contact that wants to speak to you that would be interested in maybe developing any kind of relationship. Then we will bring them on as well. So you'll have a chance for an hour long, or if no one else calls, you'll have a chance for an hour long presentation of your best sales pitch for yourself, so that the person you might be interested in will make a call. So we're kind of about that. Another one that's a little different is we're going to do we talk not talk show. It's an untalk show where, because right now you're not able to call in. We're not using, but you can do it if you come on as a guest, and we'll go over those details when Dave. That's going to be one of the last ones to come on because we're trying to get all the new ones that are once a week set up as opposed to that which might be daily. This week, now let's finish up with the programming because we only got 2 minutes. As you saw, today was our lead off with Chef Kevin Johnson of Chef's Chat USA. When double header, daytime is 10 o'clock in the morning, a.m. That's Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's our Return to Artist Review. We have a lovely lady who's got some beautiful paintings, and so she'll be bringing them to you. So make sure you look for the promotion and or the show. Later that evening, the one lady we just talked about, Robin Dedden, our site at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, will be taking. She's got a couple of callers already reserved, but if no one else reserved, you can text in and actually get your tarot read during that show or talk to a medium. On Friday, we're going back once a week. We've been doing a show called Marcy's Liquidation Sale, Marcy's Picking Sale, which is a warehouse that's held 40 plus years of antiques that have been sitting there untouched. They're dirty, unfortunately, because of the environment, but she's been giving a lot of, I say giving away, selling these things at liquidated price from all around the world. Africa, all kinds of different pieces, little pieces, big pieces, etc. So that's a rarity review. All right. It's about my time. So we want to thank you for bearing with us. And I appreciate that you can come back to us since we were gone last week. But please stay tuned and watch some of our shows. So look for the promos and see if you can follow us this morning. But hopefully we'll put some more on this week, but certainly next week over and above what we've just went over. Thank you again from Bob Bockelman and the New Orleans Television Internetwork and Chef's Chat US. Guys.